Good afternoon, my dear listeners. Do you know how many Nobel Prizes have gone to men and women in 120 years? Raise your hand if you think that men received more Nobel Prizes than women. And you will be absolutely right. It's obvious, isn't it? But the question is, how many times more men received this award than women? Look at the presentation and try to answer this question. Actually, the proportion is shocking. 817 prizes to men and just 47 to women. That means that men received 17 times more Nobel Prizes than women. Can you imagine what would have happened had Einstein been born a woman? We probably wouldn't know who Einstein is today, because the merits of those discoveries would have been taken by a fellow male researcher. This phenomenon, known as the Matilda Effect, in honor of Matilda Jocelyn Gage. She was the first activist who highlights the injustice of systematically ignoring the findings of brilliant women throughout history. Look at the presentation, it works like that. By the way, have you ever thought about why Einstein is showing his tongue on that famous picture? He's actually saying, "Oh, I was born male, so my achievements are in safety." Of course I joke, but the Matilda Effect is of great interest nowadays. The reason is that almost every female can face it. Is there anyone who has experienced it? As for me, I have. One day we were given a group physics project. Do you like physics? Frankly speaking, I don't, but I'm really into biology, so when I'm talking with my physics friends, it's look like that. However, on that day we were given an interesting topic for investigation: diffusion. If you are not good at physics and have absolutely no idea what diffusion is, just look at the photo and you will get it. Then it turned out that the same topic for investigation were given to two boys from our class. My friend and I did a lot of research and put a lot of effort into it. On the day of our defense, we were sure in our success. Everyone was interested in our investigation, and we were really one of the best. The boys from our class were not so diligent while conducting the research, and as a result, it was obvious who was better. Do you think we deserve to get excellent marks? And do you think we got them? Our physics teacher, who is male by the way, said that girls can't be good at science, and didn't believe that we were the ones who did everything. At that moment I felt something between this and that. Okay, that was a typical physics project, and I'm sure I would feel a lot more offended if, because of gender bias, I didn't get recognition for my important work in science, or if my groundbreaking discoveries were credited to a man. But I guess it's not possible. The man's tall achievement, really? In fact, it's not just only possible, it's happened to a lot of women, and in many cases men didn't just steal these ideas. They published them in journals, earned millions from them, and were recognized in retrospect. No one need we should struggle to get the acknowledgement and show that women can also be worth recognition. Today I want to talk about one woman whose groundbreaking discovery was credited to a man. Maitner. She was a student under the legendary physicist Max Planck, and the first German woman to hold a professorship at a German university. As Nazis rose to power, the young Jewish student was forced to flee her home country. She kept in touch with her research partner, Otto Hahn, from her new location in Scandinavia. Hahn and Maitner joined forces to outline the concept of nuclear fission. That was the groundbreaking moment that gave rise to the awesome, destructive capacity of the atomic bomb. Hahn chose to omit his partner's name and was thus the sole recipient of the prize in chemistry. It's a pity, but nothing has changed nowadays. Since childhood I have been very creative and curious, always trying to come up with something of my own. This childhood dream has spilled over into my passion for science now. The problem was that simply at such time of equality, I heard something like, women are dumber than men, and the professorship of a scientist is not for women. I consider myself a rather stubborn person, so I never listen to such people. But what if not everyone is like me? What if someone gives up their dream because of the Matilda Effect? To prevent this from happening, I propose to fight it. Don't you agree that we should find ways to solve this problem? But firstly, Let you take a short test that will show whether you are inclined to discriminate and underestimate women. The presentation will show questions, there are only 5 of them, and you must learn or write down your answers. Let's start. The first question is, who should the breadwinner of a family be? The man, the woman, whoever gets paid more, it doesn't matter, or the dog? Who should spend more time on the housework? Women, men, it should be a shared responsibility. Or nobody should live in a squalor. Who should spend more time raising kids? Mothers, fathers, whoever is able to. Now you should pick a boss and pick a doctor. That's all. Now look at your answers. If you have more A answers, that you are prone to discriminate and underestimate women. So how you can find the Matilda effect? As I think, we should work harder to normalize the concept of women scientists and increase the representation of women among practicing scientists. We must spread the true authors of the discoveries, talk about them on social networks or with our friends. It's a cool idea to give thematic presentation at school or universities. Don't forget about the younger generation. We must talk about it to our younger siblings or children. When I was surfing the net, I found brilliant women for children. The Matilda Effect tells the story of a little girl, Matilda, who loves science and wants to become an inventor. Soon she discovers that her grandma was once an astrophysicist who actually discovered a planet. However, grandma's boss took all the credit and he is about to be given the Nobel Prize. Can Matilda and her grandma stop the ceremony and tell the truth? Besides, academic leaders should think about explicit criteria for determining authorship, teach their mentees about these criteria, and then follow them. Remember, if you have faced the Matilda effect, you shouldn't be silent or think you deserve such an attitude towards your achievements. Shout to the whole world, but don't be silent. I am sure that the day will come when men and women will have equal opportunities. But it's also true that there is a lot of work left to do to keep scientific advances from being a matter of gender. The world needs to agree that the value of a person's work should have more to do with what it says than who does it. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye.